What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with 4 weeks out physique update from Kusio Ken, aka Kennedy, on his road to his men's open bodybuilding debut, which is gonna be happening at this upcoming New York Pro. So does this latest physique update makes you think that he has lost a lot of his freak factor, his wow factor, in these past few weeks? Well, yes, I'm gonna say it does, but then it's actually good. He's going through a painful phase, where the body looks totally flat due to very little glycogen in the system, and for staying on that low carbs diet for such a long duration. But for many people out there, that is exactly what's needed to get truly peeled and absolutely ripped. Now we all know that New York Pro is gonna have such a deep lineup, and in that most probable scenario, where Derek wins this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, guys like Michael Krizo, Nick Walker, they're gonna jump into New York Pro as well. And then we have all these other guys like Regan Grimes, William Bonac, and so many others. And as big of a freak Ken is, we have always more bigger and more freaky guys out there. And that is the case, especially in the men's open. So the top 4 at this upcoming New York Pro, they are pretty much locked in, with Nick Walker, Michael Krizo, Regan, and William Bonac. So realistically speaking, Ken would be hoping to get at the very least in that first call out. And just because he hasn't stood next to any pros as of right now, we cannot predict how he's gonna compare against all of these top guys. However, we do know that the size on this guy, that is just bonkers. That is pure insanity. And the freak factor on this guy, that is no joke. He turned pro back in 2023, and he has made extremely impressive transformation and so much overall gains in the past couple of years. Now we know that a flat physique, that can mask a lot of detail, and you bet, his physique is gonna come back to life, and it is gonna be totally different once he's done with that depletion phase and introduce some carbs into his system. And if his peak goes smoothly, if he can nail it 100%, this guy is gonna be dangerous. So will Ken do any show after the New York Pro? Well, as of right now, we haven't heard any word about that from Ken, but hopefully that is gonna be the case. So this is certainly gonna be a very exciting pro debut. Next up, we have the physique update from Logan Franklin, the veteran classic physique competitor, who kind of shocked the entire bodybuilding world at this past Arnold, Ohio, splitting a vast majority of those classic physique fans that he was a more deserving winner over Mike Sommerfeld, based on having more classic overall physique and having quote-unquote more classic look. So the most noticeable area where Mike was way ahead of Logan, that was the back. He was head and shoulders above Logan in that area. So Mike was just way too good in the overall muscularity as well, and Logan kind of lacked the width from the back. So the man is back to the drawing board, making all of those much needed improvements. But we have to keep in mind, he has to qualify for the Olympia this year because he isn't qualified. So he did not compete after the Arnold, Ohio this year. And now he has been slowly getting back into the prep mode again. And just because he's able to stay so goddamn lean, and that is actually the case for him throughout the year, it's kind of easier for him to just flip the switch and be ready for any show that he wants to. So Logan's look from this past Arnold, Ohio, that was a masterpiece by him and also his coach Patrick Tour, especially in terms of that peak. So this is what's called nailing everything to perfection. And glad to see, after years and years of struggling, Logan has finally found a coach who can possibly carry him all the way to the top. So no Brion or Chris Bumstead in classic physique Olympia lineup this year. So that makes that Olympia top 5 wide open for a bunch of guys, and Logan is definitely in that discussion. Guys, we have a limited time offer. If you buy any flavor of Bloodshot, you are gonna get a free Dying Breed t-shirt. The discount code is on the screen right now, and use the code Fazi10 to get 10% extra discount. Next up, we have a 10 weeks out physique update from another genetic freak in classic physique division, Fabian Sylvian. So the man is back in business, and the man has also decided to pair up with Patrick Tour as well. So does that mean we are probably gonna see the best of Fabian this time around in this upcoming 2025 season? Well, I'm gonna say potentially yes. So how uncomfortable Fabian must have felt at his Olympia debut last year, that after prepping for months and months to grace the biggest bodybuilding stage in the world and to stand with the best of the best in the world, so how uncomfortable he must have been that he did not even return for the callouts after doing his individual mandatories. Now his Olympia package last year, that was pretty damn impressive. But there is no secret, that this is another guy who is just way too big for classic. And that is why he switched over to the men's open bodybuilding a few years back. But the show that he competed in as a men's open competitor, Hassan Mustafa was the winner of that show. So you can only imagine how it was crystal clear for a guy like Fabian that it's gonna take him probably 2 to 3 years at the very least just to put on enough size to be competitive in the biggest bodybuilding division in the world. So classic physique division is the way to go for Fabian, and all Patrick Tour is gonna do is help him improve his overall muscularity and get him bone dry and absolutely ripped. Next up, we have a less than 3 weeks out physique update from Michael Krizo. So Krizo is probably one of the most impressive looking guy when the man is this close to being contest ready, because he looks like the biggest freak in the gym, especially in that tank top. And the way he has recovered from the shoulder injury, and he has unlocked a whole new level of freakiness. It's just totally unprecedented. So his conditioning for 3 weeks out, that looks absolutely mind-blowing. And we all have Derek, Nick, and Martin as our top 3 at this year's Pittsburgh Pro. But you never know. One of them can come in off. And Krizo, based on how he is looking right now, he can sneak past one of these guys into that top 3. So that first impression that Krizo makes on the judges, that is the front relaxed. And that just isn't a great shot for Krizo, because he just has that wider waistline. But then the man just knocks it right out of the park in that front double biceps because of those monstrous arms and his insane freakiness. So ever since he has switched over to the IFBB Pro League, he has continuously improved from one show to the next one. And this is gonna be the most combative show that Krizo is gonna enter other than the 2 Olympias that he has done. So we really wanna see how George Farah peaks him for this upcoming show. They first show together, and so far, the progress that Krizo has made, that is beyond impressive. So Krizo went from 12th to 7th at the Olympia in just a matter of 2 years. But this is gonna be a more combative Olympia lineup than either 2022 or 2023. So looking forward to Krizo doing a bunch of shows this year in the next couple of months. So can Andrea Presti, the 3 times Portugal Pro champion, make it to this year's Olympia stage for the 4th time this year in his career? So he was one of the most unlucky guy that we saw last year. He went up against Samson Dauda and Hosstile Products in France and Italy Pro, and he placed second behind both these guys in both of these shows. But he just did not expect to lose to a guy like Bruno Santos in Europa Pro. That was a tough pill to swallow because he was leading after the prejudging. Now Presti did a total of 5 shows last year, and the post-Olympia run where he did Prague and the Big Man Weekend, that just isn't something he would wanna remember, because from placing second behind Samson Dauda and Hunter, and then he barely made into that top 5 in the last couple of shows. Now you can easily see the reason behind his placings. Despite improving his legs from the year he made his Olympia debut back in 2022 to last year, he's still lacking a lot of balance. Now if you guys really wanna see how big and wide Presti is, look at his most muscular shot next to Samson Dauda and Hosstile Products and Michael Krizo. And that crazy big upper half that only exposes his weakness even more. And the same thing goes for his back as well. He's very complete up top, but not in the lower half. His hamstrings and the glutes are just nowhere near to his upper body. But he can still make it to this year's Olympia stage because the man always gets so damn peeled in almost every single show. So Presti loves doing Portugal Pro, and that show is scheduled in the first week of July. And that is plenty of time for him to get ready for this show. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.